Hi, I'm Christian Iddon, riding for the Tyco BMW team, and I'm going to take you for a lap of Oulton Park in the Nissan GTR. Bit of wheel spin there. We got in trouble last time. I got told not to do that. Right, heading down into turn one. We're going to go back just the one gear into here. It's a really late apex. You look like you want to tip in quite early, but you don't. And then there's a dip. Where this dip is, we're going to hit the apex there perfectly, where that grid is. Then you cut out to the outside and you'll see a lot of people will go all the way out here and across the rumble strips, and it actually ends a little bit early, and a lot of people you'll see going across the grass there. So we're now coming down to Cascades, which is completely blind as you come up to it. I think you remember probably Graham Galland had a massive crash here a few years ago. It's completely unsighted as you tip in, and the bikes always hit the limit as you tip in as they go over onto the side of the tyre. Through this right, which you sort of ignore a little bit, and then we go down into Cascades proper. It's quite a drop down and there's a big dip as you go down the hill. We're going to go back just one gear again into here, into the long left that seems to go on forever, and you've got to really try and get your line right around this one, because we're going on to Lakeside Strait, which is a very important one because it is pretty much the longest straight we've got on this track here at Oulton Park. Right, so the gearing pan that I've got here on my BMW, to be honest with you, it's a very easy gear pattern. We're not using many gears, we're only using 3 gears around the whole track here. So out of Cascades, we're only in third, and we're only going to go up to fourth as we come up here to Island Bend. And this is another full commitment corner. You'll see a few boys passing other riders going into this one, but it's always a very difficult pass to make because there's not a great deal of room for error. There's a big old bump as we go in towards this corner, so the bikes get unsettled, and then you've just got to fully commit and lay it in here. It's a nice corner, and once you get yourself settled and get the bike settled, then you can start to get back on the gas, and always try and sneak a little bit just as we're coming up to Shell Oil's hairpin. And this is an absolutely brilliant track. When you ride it, it doesn't feel like it's got as much banking as what it's got, but honestly, when you walk around it, it is so cambered. Back just one gear, and it is a very tight corner, but because it is so cambered, you can really drill the front end and dig a deep on the way in. So there's 2 ways around this hairpin. You can either hug the inside, or some people do it like a V. They go in deep, turn it, and then out again. And then you just got to watch the camber on the way out of here, because it does drop away as we head up towards the first of the 2 chicanes. So this one here is Britain's chicane, so it's a very difficult chicane on the entry because we're going up to it and we're braking on the angle. We're braking on the right hand side of the bike, we're going back 1 gear, and then we're braking again as we go in towards the left, so it's all about modulating the brake. It's quite a high curb on that one, so you've got to be a bit careful there. Flick it over to the right, back over to the left, and then we're hoping over here at Hilltop, we've got to try and, if you're going to pass someone on the run down to his, you're going to keep her out on the right hand side, and if the normal line is to cut it over to try and stop the bike from wheeling. Right, down into Hizzies. This is a very hard braking corner down here. It's a tight chicane and it's all the way downhill, so the bike wants the rear end to pick up. We're going to go down only 1 gear again. We're going to drop back to second and then drop her in. This is Hizzies, so it's a right combination which gets progressively faster. Over to the left, this is always a place where the rear seems real unsettled. We've seen a few crashes in qualifying, I'm sure we'll see a few more throughout the day. And then this last one, another real late apex, completely unsighted and really late. Here we go, that's the apex there, and then you've got to run it out, but it is slightly off camber, so you've got to be careful. Now, we're going up to one of the most amazing parts of the track here. Up and over this crest is completely blind. There's so many blind bits on this track, but it's so much fun. You click up the gears, you're going up to third, up to fourth as you go over to try and just control the bike from getting all unshaped. And then you run it out all the way to the grass right behind the highway maintenance van right here. He's got the racing line. So you're going all the way out here, and then we're going to throw it into this left. And again, another difficult braking zone as we're heading towards Druids. So we've got a difficult braking zone here as we go through this corner. On the brakes on the left, and try and hope that you can hold the line to pull it back again then for Druids as we drop down 1 more gear again. Druids is a double apex, so we go in, we run it through the middle of the corner. You can see where this bit of a dry line, to be honest, that's about where the line is, and then we cut it back again, and then on the exit, This is a difficult one because where that kid on that BMX is looks like about the right line, but you'll see the track juts out again, so you've got to be real careful you don't end up across the grass on the exit. Right, we're coming up to Lodge now, which has seen so many famous overtakes in BSB. Probably the best one is probably the Hodgson Walker one, is one that I remember, or if you remember Tommy Hill when he was going for his championship on the Suzuki and he blew up and went cartling into it. There's so many things gone on into this corner. It's an amazing last corner to have. There's lots of undulations as you come in. You're going back 1 gear for us, 2 gears for most of the bikes, and you've really got to use the undulations. The suspension will compress, extend. So again, you're modulating the brakes. Drill the front as you go in. There's a bit of a dip here. You drill the front real hard, but then you've got to be careful because it goes up and over a rise. The rear is going to go light, and then you be hard on the gas, drive it through. Really exciting run to the start finish. Click through the gears, get as close as you dare to the barrier here, and then across the finish line, and hopefully do a bit of winning.